गति गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरुः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरुः मतिरस्ति गुरो मम पाहि गुरो सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेदमपेदकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकादर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेतः सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are seeing Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana and we are seeing Canto 9 in it. And we are seeing the Chandra Vamsa, that is the lunar dynasty, and we are seeing the line of the Pururavas. Pururavas and Urvashi, they had 6 sons. And in the line of Pururavas came sage Jahnu. Jahnu was very famous because when Ma Ganga was following Bhagirath, she flooded the ashram of Rishi Jahnu. And he got very angry and he just drank up all the waters of Ganga. And later, Bhagirath requested to Rishi Jahnu, and he just said what all efforts he made to bring Ganga from the heaven down to the earth. And for mercy, out of mercy, Rishi Jahnu released her through his ears. And so Ganga Devi was also known as Jahvi. So in that line came only Gati, that is in the line of Pururavas came Gati. Gati had a very beautiful daughter, Satyavati. Rishi Richika, he wanted to marry her, and so he approached Gati to give his daughter, but Gati was not that happy to give his daughter to Rishi. So he demanded money he demanded a price from the groom. He said, येतः श्यामकर्णानां हयानां चन्द्रवर्चसां सहस्रं दीयतां शुक्लं कन्याया कुशिकावयं. Give me a bridal money of 1,000 horses which are just moon white in color, but their one karna should be dark in color. Their one ear should be dark in color. I want not 1,000 horses like this. And it is not a great demand, he said, because the girl is from the aristocratic Kaushika family. So I want this gift from the bridal money. I want that, he said. Rishi Rishika, he went to Varunadeva and he said about the demand of Gati. And Varunadeva somehow arranged for these type of horses, 1,000 horses he arranged, and he gave that horses to Gati and he married Satyavati. Now Satyavati and Rishi Rishika, they lived very happily and they had a son. That son's name was Jamadagni. He was a great Rishi. And after giving birth to Jamadagni, Satyavati, that is the wife of Rishi Rishika, he just converted herself into river Kaushiki. And Kaushiki purifies the whole world. So she converted herself into that river. And later son Jamadagni, he married Renuka and they lived very happily. And they had many sons, and the youngest of that son was Rama. He was the avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu, and his objective of taking this avatar is to destroy all the Kshatriyas who have the dominant Rajas and Tamaguna, the Kshatriyas who have dominant Rajas and Tamoguna, and because of that, they disturb the holy men and sages and all of them. And to destroy all of them, he took this avatar and to relieve the earth from its burden. So, that is the purpose of this avatar of Rama. Later, he very famously came to be known as Parashurama. Now, Parikshit asked Shuka Brahmarishi, why did he kill? What was the purpose of killing all these Kshatriyas? Yes, of course, they were dominant in Rajas and Tamas, but they must do something. So, what was the reason behind it? And Sri Shuka Brahmarishi said that once there lived a king, Arjuna, and he was the king of the Haihayas, and he ruled the Mahishmati, that region, and he was a very powerful Kshatriya. He was a great Kshatriya, very powerful Kshatriya at that time, and he was so a cruel Kshatriya also. He worshipped another avatar of Bhagavan, Lord Dattatreya, and from him he received many boons, and he had 1,000 arms. So no one could near him. If any enemy near him, then he will release the arrow with his 1,000 arms. So he was so powerful, luster, prosperity, courage, fame, strength. He had eightfolded yogic power. He was a very powerful Kshatriya, but at the same time very cruel also. So he was ruling like that. Once he was doing water sports in Narmada river, and Narmada river was flowing in its own speed, but he got disturbed by it and he blocked the flow of Narmada river with his 1,000 hands. And Narmada river, it changed its direction and it flooded the upper banks of Narmada. And there, this 10-headed Ravana was doing tapas. It flooded his ashrama and disturbed his tapas. And he got angry and he came to fight with Arjuna, but Arjuna, he imprisoned him in the prison of Mahishmati. Later, out of grace, he released Ravana, and he was so ashamed to go out of that prison itself, because he was released just like how a monkey was released from its cage. So no one could fight with this Arjuna. This Arjuna is not that Mahabharata Arjuna, he is another Arjuna. He was such a cruel king, very powerful, no one could near him. That's the situation. Once this Arjuna, along with his retinue and warriors, he went in the forest for hunting. And he saw the ashrama of Jamadagni. He was doing some yagna there. He saw the ashrama of Jamadagni and he was so very hungry and thirsty, and so he came to that ashrama for some food and water. And there Jamadagni was having, by tabas, he had the cow Kamadhenu and its calf. So he requested Kamadhenu to give food for all those people. Many people came, many warriors and all the retinue, they all came. So he requested Kamadhenu to give food for all of them. And Kamadhenu gave food, because Kamadhenu is a wish-yielding cow, isn't it? Here, Kamadhenu gave food and all that sweet, everything for all the warriors, the king, Arjuna and his entire retinue. They had a very good lunch. At that time itself, Arjuna had an eye for this Kamadhenu. He thought that what is the need for this wish-yielding cow in an ashrama? It must be there in the palace, just like how Vishwamitra Rishi thought about Vasishta Rishi's cow. So just like that, he thought, and he went to his palace. The next day, even forgetting that he is a rishi or forgetting the hospitality or anything, he sent some warriors to bring back, to take away Kamadhenu. The warriors came without asking any permission to the rishi. They just took off Kamadhenu and its calf and went to the palace of Mahishmati. When Rama came back, Rama and his brothers came back, Jamadagni Rishi was crying, and when asked the reason, he said, the warriors of the king, they forcefully took off Kamadhenu. Rama got very angry and immediately he took the bow and arrow, a quiver on his back, and a battle axe, a very big axe he carried, and he directly went to Mahishmati. And he invited Arjuna to fight with him. When King Arjuna came and saw outside, he was just like a sannyasi, as an ascetic, wearing a deer skin, having matted hair on his head, and with a bow and arrow quiver on his back, and a battle axe. So that is Raja Arjuna, he sent his warriors, that is not one or two warriors, 17 Akshauhinis, that is 17 battalions. They all fought with Parashurama. Rama, he was very famously known as Parashurama. They all fought with Rama. But none of these warriors could survive. Rama released the arrows and he cut off the head of all the warriors with his axe, powerful axe. He cut off the heads of all the warriors and their heads were rolling on the ground and the entire ground was stained with blood. And now Arjuna came. King Arjuna came. And he saw Rama, so he released arrows from his 1,000 hands. But Rama, with a Ekabana, single arrow, he blocked all of them. And he cut off the 1,000 hands of Arjuna. And he cut off the head of Arjuna. Now Arjuna was killed. Now Arjuna had 1,000 sons. These 1,000 sons saw Rama killing their father and they could not believe that their father died or they lost all those hands. They could not believe it. But anyway, in fear, they all ran away and they hid in somewhere in the forest. And Rama, he went inside the palace and he saw Kamadhenu and it's a calf in a very bad condition. So he took out Kamadhenu and the calf and came back to the ashram of Jamadagni. And he narrated all this incident to his father, but his father Jamadagni was not so happy because he was such a great rishi. He said, Rama Rama Mahabaho Bhavan Pavamakarashit Avadhin Naradevam Yat Sarvadevamayam Vrutha. Rama, my dear son Rama, you have done a great papa. In a Kshatriya's body, that is in a king's body, many Devadas will reside. So when you kill the Kshatriya, you are disturbing all those Devadas. So it is a great sin, my dear son. And not only that, Vayam hi brahmanastada Kshamayarhana tangataha Yaya loga guru devaha Parameshtyamaghatpadam. We are Brahmanas. It is by the virtue of patience we have been elevated to this position. Even Lord Brahma attained his Brahmanhood because of his infinite patience. So, as Brahmanas, as rishis, we must have patience, my dear son. Kshamaya rochate Lakshmi Brahmi Shauri Yata Prabha Kshami Namashu Bhagavastushyate Haririshwaragam. Patience is what generates that Brahmic aura. And Lord Hari, he will be pleased with who forgive others, who have patience. So what you have done is a great papa, my dear son. And moreover, Murdhabhishiktasya Rajnyaha Vadaha Brahma Vada Guruhu. It is more sinful to kill a Kshatriya whose head has been poured with the consecrated water. That is more cruel than killing even a Brahmana. Because on his head, that during the time of Pattabhisheka, they poured that holy water. A person whose head has been poured that holy water, it is great papa to kill such a person than killing a Brahmana, my dear son. So you have to get rid of this thing. So you better go for pilgrimage. You go to many holy places, you take bath in many holy rivers, and you worship Bhagavan Vishnu, you meditate on his form, and like that you expiate all your sins, he said. And Rama also obeyed his father and went for pilgrimage. Nearly after 1 year only, he came back to the ashrama. So now Jamadagni, the Parashurama, and all his brothers and mother, everyone was happy in that ashrama. One day, Renuka Devi, that is the mother of Rama, she went to river Ganga to fetch water for the yajna. And already Jamadagni Rishi has begun the yajna, so she went to the river to take some water. There, the Gandharva Chitragada, he was playing with some apsaras. So Renuka Devi saw Gandharva and she was attracted by his beauty, personality, and everything. She just saw him for some time and she didn't realize that the time is running out. So she was there, attracted by his beauty. Then only she became conscious that I have to go back with a pot of water. So immediately she took some water and went to the ashrama and placed it near her husband, Jamadagni Rishi. Jamadagni Rishi found out the mental adultery of his wife. And he said to his son, Putrakaha, yenam papam gnadaha. She has done a papa, mental adultery of being attracted to another man. So just kill her. Like this, he said to his sons. But his eldest son did not agree to it. The next son did not agree to it. Then Parashurama, understanding the spiritual power of his father, he came forward and cut off the head of his mother Renuka and all the brothers who did not obey their father. Now Jamadagni Rishi was so happy and he asked Rama, what boon do you want? And Rama said, I want to make all these bodies alive. Give them life back. And Jamadagni Rishi gave back life to Renuka and his other sons. Knowing very well the spiritual power of his father, then only he cut off the head of his mother and his brothers. And Rama also requested to his father that they should not be aware of all this pain or anything. And like that only, they just got up from death, just like getting up from deep sleep. So knowing the power of his father only, Rama came forward and cut off the head of his mother and his brothers. And now on the other side, what is happening is, Arjuna's son, at that time, they were so fearful and they just fled off somewhere in the forest. But they wanted to take revenge on Rama and Rama's family. So what happened was, one day, when Rama and his brothers were deep in the forest searching for the summit, collecting summit, and Jamadagni Rishi was there in that ashrama, and Renuka Devi was doing household work, and Jamadagni Rishi was doing some yajna. At that time, the sons of Arjuna, they came and they murdered Jamadagni. They just separated the head of Jamadagni Rishi from the body and they took off the head. And Renuka Devi was crying. She was just begging to those people, please leave my husband. What wrong did they do? But they gave no ears for her distress cry. When she was crying like this, Rama in the deep forest, he heard his mother crying and all of them, they just ran back to the ashrama and they just found his father. Their father was murdered and his body, that is the trunk of the body, is in the pool of blood. Rama said, Ha dada sadhu dharmishta tyaktvasman swargado bhavan. Leaving all of us here, my father, the Dharmishta, right one, leaving all of us here, you have gone to the heaven. And what Rama next did was, he entrusted the body of his father to his brothers, and he took the axe and went to Mahishmati. And he grazed off the heads of all the Kshatriyas. And there were hillock of heads, and blood was flowing just like a stream Many Kshatriyas were killed in Mahishmati. So that was the first campaign of Rama in killing the Kshatriyas. And after killing all of them, he recovered the head of his father, and he did not immediately go to the ashrama, that is his house. He went to another place, called off all the Kshatriyas, cut off all their heads. Another stream of blood is flowing. Like this, he went to he made 21 campaigns, and he killed all the Kshatriyas who were ruling at that time. And that blood was flowing everywhere on the ground, on the soil. So he collected all that and made 5 pools of blood on the place called Samanta Panchaka. And he came back to the ashrama. That is, he killed all the Kshatriyas at that time, and he came back to his ashrama with the head of his father, and he joined the head of his father with the trunk of that body of his father, and they performed yajna. Many sages helped them to perform yajna. He did yajna placing the Supreme Being. He performed many yajnas, and he joined the trunk of his father's body with the head of their father's body, and gave back life to Jamadagni Rishi. That is, they extended the consciousness of the previous body, and they at the end of those yajnas, Jamadagni Rishi became the 7th Saptarishi. That he became the Saptarishi. Now, what Rama did was, when he killed the Kshatriyas, their land is in his hand, isn't it? He took off the land, entire kingdom. So what he did was, he gave this land to the priest who performed this yajna. That is, many priests will be involved in a yajna, like the Hota priest, Advaryu priest, and many priests like Udgada priest. Like this, many priests will be involved in performing an yajna. He gave this kingdom to all those priests and made those Brahmanas as Kshatriyas. And who all attended that yajna, he gave the land and the ornaments collected from the palace, everything so liberally to all these people. And at last he took the final ceremonial bath, Avabhradasnana, and he get rid of all the sins. He was relieved from all the sins because he worshipped Bhagavan with one-pointed devotion. And relieved of all the sins, he became very calm and praised by the Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas and all of them. He is residing in the Mahendragiri mountain. It is believed that Rama, who is famously known as Parashurama, is in the Mahendragiri mountain meditating on that Supreme Being. In the next Manvantara, this son of Jamadagni will become the propagator of the Vedas. That is in the next Manvantara. So, the Mahendragiri mountains, sage Parashurama is worshipping Bhagavan and meditating on Bhagavan. Yevam Bhrugushu Vishwatma Bhagavan Haririshwaraha Avatirya Param Bharam Bhuvohan Bahushan Rupan. In this way, Hari, that Supreme Lord, the indweller of all, who incarnated himself in the line of the Bhrigus, and he several times destroyed the rulers who have become the burden of the earth. So this is the story of Rama, the famous Parashurama, the avatar of Bhagavan. Now this is the line of Gati's daughter's line. Gati's daughter's son was Jamadagni, and Jamadagni's son was Rama. Now Gati also had another son. His name was Vishwamitra, the world famous Vishwamitra. He was a person who elevated himself to a Brahmana. He was a Kshatriya, but by tapas he elevated himself to that position of a Brahmana. Vishwamitra had 100 sons, and his middle son's name was Madhuchandas. So they collectively, all the children were called as Madhuchandas only. Now what he did was, he had this 100 sons, but in addition to it, he adopted Sunashepa. You must remember that Sunashepa was the middle son of Ajigartha, and he was bought by Rohita, the son of Harishchandra, for giving human sacrifice. And like that only, the Rohita brought Sunashepa to the palace of Harishchandra, and Harishchandra gave himself in the human sacrifice to Varuna Deva. But what happened after that was, when he gave that human sacrifice, this boy as the human sacrifice. But this boy, that is Sunashepa, he worshipped the Devas and he worshipped the Prajapadis. He worshipped the Devas and Prajapadis under the guidance of this sage Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra asked him to worship the Devas so that the Devas will not do any harm to him. So the Devas, that is Agni Deva, did not immolate Sunashepa. The Devas let him free. Sunashepa meditated on Bhagavan and he was later known as the Devaratha. He was a great ascetic, Devaratha. And this adoption was not liked by some of the children of sage Vishwamitra. That is, the first 50 children, they did not agree with this adoption of Sunashepa or adoption of Devaratha. So they did not like it. They did not accept the act of their father. And Vishwamitra got very angry and he cursed him to be Mlechasa, that is the barbarians. So they went their own way. Now the next second 50 half, the 50 children, other 50 children, they accepted Sunashepa, that is the sage Devaratha, as their eldest son. Now the line of Vishwamitra, it became very prominent by these 50 children. That is the children who obeyed him. So all these children, that is these 50 children, they formed the line of the Kaushikas. Many lines sprung from these different sons of Vishwamitra. So this is the line of Pururavas. And another important person in the line of Pururavas was sage Shaunaka. Shaunaka was an expert in Rig Veda. Actually, it is to this Shaunaka Rishis who were performing a satra in the Naimisharanya forest. Sudha Pauranika is telling this Bhagavata. He is retelling this Bhagavata, which was originally said by Sukabrahma Rishi to Parikshit. So these Shaunaka Rishis were very famous. And so they all came in the line of Pururavas. In the line of Pururavas also came Bhagavan Dhanvantari. He was another avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu. If we think of him itself, many of the disease will vanish. So he was such a great avatar of Bhagavan. And this Pururavas' son was Ayush. He had 6 sons, isn't it? One of his sons' name was Ayush. And this Ayush's son was Nakusha. The line of Nakusha is very famous and very prominent in Mahabharata also. So the line of Nakusha we will see in the next upload. Om Namo Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.